Good evening. I'm Nancy Grace. I want to thank you for being with us. Bombshell tonight. Is there a cover-up in the search for Flight 370? At this hour, the search and rescue operations have been called off. And also, as we go to air, the Malaysian embassy stormed by family, friends, loved ones, holding signs, screaming they want their sons and daughters back. Angry over the handling of the missing flight, demanding proof the crash even occurred when not a single piece of debris has been identified. Tonight, is there a cover-up? Straight out to CNN correspondent Martin Savage. Marty, you know what? They've got a point. If it was my family, and for what, the second, third time I've been told, oh, we found the plane, take three, we found the plane, and they can't show me one seatbelt, one wheel, one piece of plastic that says Flight 370 on it, nothing, why should we believe it?
Right, and many people have the very same feeling as you do, Nancy, and I can't blame them either. I mean, they've been set up so many times, and then whatever has been told to them pulled back. Now they're being told that they just have to trust the Malaysian government, that they've managed with technology to determine that the aircraft and their loved ones has vanished somewhere in the middle of the Indian Ocean, and yet, as you point out, not a single piece of debris. I think that would be stretching any credulity that they would believe what they're being told.
Martin Savage, I want to talk about the search and rescue and the fact that the weather now, according to Malaysian officials, is causing the whole thing to be called off. You know, it's hard for me to believe that you could put a man on the moon, that you can have a space lab up in the air with people living in space for, 6 months at a time, but we can't find the black box when it is emitting a beep for 30 days. When's that going to end? At the beginning of April?
Well, the problem is, yes, you're right. There is a time frame on this, and that they are concerned that, look, they don't believe there are survivors. They just simply believe that's not an option anymore. So they want to be careful and not to risk the lives of the searchers that are out there. The weather is said to be so bad, it's taken a severe turn. It's a very difficult part of the world to search. But the waves are too rough, the winds are too high, and because the planes have to fly low to try to spot the debris, it's a dangerous combination. So they have withdrawn for now. They'll go back, but if you're a family member, of course, nothing can be done fast enough. You believe someone's in a life raft floating, waiting to be found. It would be heartbreaking.
Well, especially, Marty, when you feel like you've been lied to. And that's the way a lot of them feel. Martin Savage joining me, CNN correspondent. If there was an emergency landing on water, can you simulate that?
Yeah, sure we can, because you see, I think the Malaysian Airlines is implying that this airplane plunged into the ocean, which it might have done, but it didn't have to. Mitchell Casado's the pilot here. Take us down, bring us right to the water level, and let's see what this would look like. You know, the Miracle on the Hudson, which everyone remembers, that aircraft was a lot smaller than this aircraft, but it shows that airplanes are capable of landing in a water environment. It wouldn't be ideal, it wouldn't be what you wanted to do, but if the engines have run out of gas, if they are no longer generating any lift, it may be the only thing you can do. So you come sweeping in over the ocean like this, and what you would want to do is begin to set up the aircraft as if you were coming into land. But you don't put the wheels down, because if you do, they're likely to trip you and make you flip over. Instead, you want to set it down on the smooth underbelly of the aircraft. What speed would you like to do that, Mitchell?
Ideally as slow as possible. Minimum control speed, yeah.
And you're going to try and make it so that the tail hits first, and then the rest of the plane settles down. The other thing you worry about would be the wave state.
Absolutely. We don't know the sea state, we don't know the winds, but they play a tremendous factor in all this.
Yeah, you would try to land on top of the wave, not in the trough. You don't have any control over that. If you have to land, you have to land. And this is all assuming, of course, Nancy, that the pilots were awake and conscious to be able to do it, but it could
Martin, I was
have
just
been
thinking
done.
about that because the theory, one of the working theories, is there was an emergency in the cockpit, so I don't know if they could do anything like you guys are doing right now if there was an emergency.